So hi guys, how are you doing once again? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Juliettsstyleglam. If this is your first time on my channel, thank you so much for being here. And if you're already subscribed to this channel, well, you are awesome, and thank you for being a part of this amazing, wonderful family. Now, today's video, we're going to be talking about something that struck me. And why it struck me is just because of the fact that it seemed funny to certain people, and I'm sorry, it wasn't funny to me. So I'm going to put a video here, okay? In this video, I'm going to put a video, and you're going to listen to what this beautiful girl had to say.
Please, if you can share this video, please do, because it's very, very important. I want this video to get to Buhari, please. You know, this is New Year. Everybody get what they bother now for mine. So the one where they bother me, maybe the one I want to send, go give Buhari now. So I use God to beg Buhari. Any law where you want pass this year, make sure say you put law, say, I hear say good luck Jonathan put the law, but people no really respect them. So now on my own, I am begging you, because I am the advocate of all the women that has no clitoris. So please, Buhari, I want to beg you. I am tired of faking my cum. I am tired of faking my cum, and I know that there are so many innocent children that will grow tomorrow and start faking their own cum. Do you know how many times you have to fake your cum just to please your man and make him feel like what should be? At the end of the day, there is nothing there. You will fake your cum in order for your man not to think that, this woman, I said they do and she know they ever did they satisfy. You have to fake it. Imagine say you do like 5 times, you go fake 4. Only once when you go come, that one before you go come, it will take you nothing less than 1 hour, 35 minutes and 24 seconds before you can actually come. And when you come, you feel like you're having a stroke, because you don't take what the whole country is inside your body. And it's not every woman that can actually discover this thing, because not every man will have that patience for you to start touching and touching and touching yourself. Imagine you in bed with a man, and you have to tell the man, do like this, do me this, do me that. Not be all man get that kind of patience. Some men will tell you that, what if they happen? You know they come, after they do you this, you know they come. To avoid all those problems, you have to start faking it, pretending that you just look Buhari. I am tired of faking my cum. I am tired of faking my cum. But if you want me to kneel down, I will kneel down and beg you. Anybody that is watching this video, please, I am kneeling down. Please, I kneel down, please. If this is the last thing Buhari will do for us, we women, we the clitoris, what do they call them? Clitoriless women. If this is what you can do for us, at least we go see one thing where you see do for our own side. Because for some people now, they will say that, why are you lamenting? After all, the pleasure in sex is not important. Sex is just to make babies. Now lie. Because the last time I checked, once you come, if you have headache before, it will vanish. Orgasm can actually fade away your cramp if maybe you have menstrual pain. So orgasm, they change so many things for body. It has its own health benefits. So Buhari, please, I am begging. Tell them to stop cutting women's clitoris, because I don't know what, in fact, who even invent that barbaric thing. Imagine some people now, maybe they even have small. Someone like me now that have 0, that they scraped. If it's something that I can actually show you guys right now, I would have opened it and show you guys. But you know, normally you cannot show your kwekus on social media. You understand? So that is why I will not show you guys. But please, Buhari, I need that, they beg. Buhari, please, stop this thing. If this is the only thing you do for us this year, Buhari, I beg. I am tired of faking my cum. Guys, please share this video. It is very, very important to me. I am tired of faking my cum. Buhari, I don't tire to fake my cum. If this, not say they say, you know, the tomorrow the year one like that. I don't tire to fake my cum. When I say cum, if you don't know what it become, I know they talk about to come from Abuja to Lagos. I don't tire to the talk say I don't release, whereas I never release. Buhari, please do this, or even if this one are the last thing what you do for your life.
Now she spoke in pidgin English, so I'm going to also put the subtitles there, the transcription in normal English, so that you will understand. Now, this is not to say in the video that the person who seemed to be making a mockery of the whole thing, I'm not trying to single him out, but I'm just trying to highlight the ignorance that exists in the suffering that someone who had no consent is going through. She had no consent over what happened to her. She had no decision. It was just, come and do it. She was probably dragged, or, she never knew. And, for something that is actually an issue in not just the country I come from, but in majority of countries in Africa and Asia. So you may be wondering what I'm talking about, or probably by now you've been able to understand or decipher what I'm trying to talk about. I'm talking about the female genital mutilation, otherwise known as FGM. Now, if you don't know, I have a couple of notes here, and I'm also going to put for you the websites you could go to get some of this information I'm going to be sharing with you today. Now, for those of you who may not know, or who have heard, or you're not conversant with how this works, female genital mutilation actually is the obvious and forced, I'll use the word forced because it's not consented to. It's the forced mutilation and harmful injury to a woman and a woman's genital organs. Okay? So basically, it is when the woman's clitoris is cut off. Now, I'm also going to attach in this video some photos to give you a graphic of what this is all about and why it cannot be funny to a certain people or a group of people because someone is airing her grievances to the government, and not just to the government, but to the president. Okay? All right. So one of the things, like I said, I'm going to start from the top. Okay? Is the total or partial removal of the external female genitalia. Okay? And it causes or injury to the female genital organs, whether for cultural or any other therapeutic reasons, for whatever form of therapy that is, I don't understand. Well, my grievance in this video is not just about the educational side of it, but I just want to say it loud and clear. Could men get out of our business? I mean, could men get out of our uterus? Could men get out of our, genitals? Could men just get the hell out? I mean, that's exactly how I feel right now. And I'm not saying, or I'm not bashing men, but I am just saying that these are practices and culture that have been created. And the people who created it are men, not women, but men, as a form of suppression, as a form of, well, for me, I see it as a form of suppression and oppression, as a form of taking away from me my decision as a woman and giving it into someone else's hands. That's how I see all of this. So as we go along in this video, I'm going to be talking to you also about, the reasons why some of these countries and, places still practice or do practice FGM. Now, from the data I have here, there are about 28 countries in Africa that actually practice FGM. Nigeria being one of them, unfortunately, even though there have been conscious efforts by the United Nations and the UNICEF and so many bodies trying to, or who are working, steadfastly and steadily to actually stop these practices. So that's what you have to know. Nigeria is one of them. And, it's also, painful that in the 21st century, we are in 2021, all right? And here we are talking about FGM. I recall when I was, I think I was in primary school or in secondary school, I actually watched a documentary on this. And here we are, another 20 years later, we're still talking about this, because the suffering most of these women go through or are going through, you can't imagine it. You can't, if you're not in that situation, if you're not in that position, you can't imagine, what they are going through. And it's frustrating. Okay. I actually right now I have a friend who told, me that she actually passed through this, and it was shocking. And I'm telling you, this was in the 21st century. And the thing about it, again, is that she was not told what she was supposed to do. She was not even informed. And she was still a minor. And she was just put in the hands of someone who just did horrible things to her. And it is crazy. It is totally crazy how things like this happen. And how it is that in all of this, there was a consenting mother or father somewhere who said, oh, do it because that is how it's being done. Do it because that is tradition. Do it because we don't want to lose our custom or our culture. What form of culture is that is created to suppress women? Or you're supposed to be talking about her being, what do you call it? Is it chastity or what was that? I mean, I'm still trying to understand the meaning of those words. When I speak, I'm just trying to understand the meaning of all those things. What does that mean? I mean, somebody should please explain that to me in the comment section. All right. So, again, moving along, I can't express, more than anything, what this signifies, to ladies, to women, to the girl child, because they are the ones who are made to go through this, And again, according to the United Nations information given, it says that, it's quite, it's a very unhealthy practice, not to talk about the fact that some people could actually bleed to death from this. But the United Nations has actually talked about it being a violation of human rights on the woman and girl child. So why is this practice still going on, in certain parts of the world and certain parts of the country and certain parts of Africa? Why is it that we're trying to criminalize such acts, and there are actually people still doing this? And that is why I came out with this saying, hello guys, please, you guys, get out of our uterus, get out of our business, get out of our genitals, because it's none of your business. And like, again, I'm going to go back just very quickly to an Instagram post, just very, very, very quickly, an Instagram post. I'm going to put it here, which was written by Michelle Williams just about 2 days ago. And it was about someone, a guy, a man, who told her, please, and I quote, I said, I may not quote right, but it says that she needs to go have kids or something. She looks boring, or she seems boring. And she really went out on him. I'm going to put it here. And she was very, 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 how would you tell someone, how do you open your mouth and tell someone, go get a child, go have kids? You don't know this person's medical history. You don't know if the person wants children or not. You don't know if the person has problem having kids or not. Why would one take it upon themselves in liberty to speak anyhow? Just be running your mouth like as if you have diarrhea. Why? And it's the same thing I'm just trying to allude in this situation, of female genital mutilation. Now, again, what are the real reasons why these are carried out? One, they said it is to curb promiscuity. I've heard that crap before, and I'm just trying to put my head around it. You're trying to curb promiscuity in women. In general, I'm going to just try to find statistics for this because, I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to, grasp it, So curb promiscuity, but, in a nutshell or in data knowledge, men are more promiscuous than women and have the tendency to have kids or do have kids outside of their known partnership. Okay, so the same people who get to marry 10 wives and have 100 girlfriends are trying to curb promiscuity in a woman who would most likely leave her husband because she's no longer in love with him, or probably because he let her down, or because for one reason or the other, and he's like, okay, listen, I'm done with this marriage, I'm done with this, and I'm ready to move on. Okay, so I'm just trying to grasp, the whole thing. That's one. Two, it says is to protect female modesty. Again, I'm trying to really, really understand what it means by female modesty. It's ringing bell in my head. So again, female modesty means what? I don't understand. I just want to know what that means. Female modesty means what? You're trying to protect female modesty, and then you get to cut off a woman's clitoris. I'm trying to understand the relationship. If you can, please help me in the comment section. The third one says it's to promote this word again, chastity again. I don't know. Please, again, whoever knows the meaning, please put it in the comment section below. Then they said then one of the things I know I actually did find out is that they said it's the initiation rite of growing girls into womanhood. Now, again, a growing girl or a growing girl child who has no consciousness of certain things at a certain age, is now being told to prepare for womanhood, but she's not told how to prepare for that womanhood. Okay, and then she's mutilated for life. I recall when I had my baby here, one of the things that they did to me was to check me out, from A to Z, if I had cuts, if I had infections and stuff like that. And the midwife asked me and said, were you circumcised? I'm like, what's that? I don't know what that means. And she was like, okay, lie down, and she was like, oh, you're fine. For me, why should anyone, and even when she told me you're fine, I wasn't still sure. So I had to go ask my mom. I said, please, ask her. I'm like, because if that is the case, all hell's going to break loose. I was like, no, nothing of that nature, But you see, again, imagine, let the reverse be the case. And here I am talking to someone and asking me that question. And I said, I don't know, okay? But let's imagine that the reverse is the case. And then it did happen. And then I have to go meet my mom. And the question will be why? The question will be who asked you? The questions will be why? Why did you do this to me? Why did you put me through this? Because the consequences of FGM are really horrible. We're not talking about the fact that the woman cannot reach orgasm. We're not talking about the fact that she's in pain during childbirth. We're not talking about the fact that she is going to always be a victim of infections, urinary tract infections. We're not talking about the fact that she's also going to be suffering from abscess because of the pain. And again, like I said, I'm going to put the picture so that you get a graphic, of what this is and why we should actually, stop it and why it should be stopped. Now, there are 4 types of female genital mutilations. We have the clitoridectomy, which is the least severe, and that is known as removal of the hood of the clitoris. And then you have the SONA, or the type 2, which is the removal of the clitoris along with the labia. It's a lot of, things here. Then type 3 and type 4 happen to be the most severe, where, like I said, I watched the documentary on this when I was very, very young, and I recall seeing the picture of a woman's genitals which were sewn. I couldn't imagine how. And that's what type 3 and type 4 show. And then as a person and as a as one who is deemed normal, I'm asking myself, how do these people live? How do they get by? How do they, feel? How do they, in their personal lives, in their, intimate lives? It must be downright frustrating. And that's where I feel and and it resonates with me in this video, in this lady's video that she put up, because she spoke with all of her emotions and with all of her mind and with her frustration. And for you to understand that frustration, you must be a woman to see it and understand it. You may not know it because you're not in that demographic, but you have to feel her pain. You have to be able to feel her frustration. And then, one would ask, what do we do? Yes, there's so much work to be done. And, at the end of the day, community-led, we've talked about community-led information and infomercials. We're talking about, I think for me, most importantly, is the legalization of this act. If you can legalize and criminalize this act, to the full extent of the law, even though Nigeria has, but unfortunately, it is still being practiced without the consent of the victim. So in the full, it's been legalized in Nigeria. I don't know about other parts of Africa. I'll check and probably put in a link where you could go check it out. But in Nigeria, it has actually been legalized. It hasn't criminalized, but it's still going on behind closed doors. We're not talking about the fact that the person can die from this. We're not talking about the fact that, there is a form of psychological trauma that goes with this. And then there's a need for us to speak up. So again, if I'm going to use this video again, as a point of contact, it will be to let people know, and that, ignorance is not an excuse. And, yes, he may have felt she was being funny, but she was not being funny. She was actually going through something. And she was, expressing her grievances on this situation. So, in every ramification, I would ask, that we get informed, in no level, capacity, or form should female genital mutilation ever exist. And where it exists, we should be quick to cry out, be quick to save our children, because it is our children who suffer at the end of this. It is our kids, the female, the girl child, the woman, the girl child is going through hell. Already, we are being discriminated against. In the corporate sector, in the business sector, in whatever sector, we are already victims of discrimination by virtue of our sex. And here we are being, passing through another form of oppression and suppression and discrimination because we are women. And I stand very strongly against this, and I speak strongly against and say that we should say no to female genital mutilation, because it is a cake, it is wrong, traditionally or in whatever form and whatever thinking. And again, get the hell out of our lives, get the hell out of our bodies, because, the choice remains mine. The choice remains my decision to say, okay, I want to do this or I don't want to do this. Because at the end of the day, we are in a situation whereby we're going to be having girls or children who become distant from their parents or from their mothers for allowing such barbaric acts on them. We're now talking about family ties being broken, because my mom let this happen, or my father let this happen, or they sanctioned that this happened. It wasn't my choice. It wasn't my decision to let this happen to me. You took that decision for me. Tradition be damned. But this is, it's barbaric. So what I'm just saying at the end of the day is that, these things cause more damage, more harm than good. And, I would also implore you, if you're a victim, to seek counseling, because it's traumatic, to seek counseling and be able to find a way through it, especially when, you get married and you are about to have kids, because having children in this situation, Most women have to always go through cesarean just for them to be able to put to bed. Most people who go through FGM have to go through cesarean to be able to have kids. Some of them, because of the trauma, don't even bother anymore at all. I'm not talking about the fact that how painful, sexual intercourse is or will be. Again, another point is supposed to be for the pleasure of the man. So basically, the woman is not supposed to have any pleasure. She's not supposed to experience any form of pleasure. I'm just trying to put my head around it. So, she's not supposed to experience any form of pleasure, but rather the man is supposed to be the one to experience the pleasure while she's in pain. Now, if you now understand where I'm going to with this, I think, you will get a clearer picture here because it makes no sense. I'm going to be putting up another video. I hope I'll be able to find it on something similar. And it just goes to show the level of misogyny and the level of patriarchy and the level of, wickedness that exists in our world. Very quick statistics again for you. In Nigeria, all over the world, we got 115 to 130 million women who have been circumcised worldwide. In Nigeria, in the South, 70% of them are among adult women. In the Southeast, in Igbo land, this is the first time I'm aware that it's actually even practiced in Igbo land. I had no clue. It's 68%, and in the Southwest, it's 65%. So you find out that the statistics are pretty high, even for a country that has criminalized this act. It's not coming down. And these statistics date back to 2013, just 7 years ago, and I'm sure it has not come down. So I would also implore you that if you are one of them or if you're a victim, to seek counsel and seek help. Because also we also found out that majority of women who have gone through FGM have refused that their daughters, go through this. And even at that, the statistics are still high. So on this note, I'm going to finish this video and I'm going to ask you to leave your comments in the comment section below. And we should be able to put heads together on what to do. How do we, to be able to stop this barbaric act, this suppression and oppression against women. And I'll let you to leave the comments, share with us what you have, share with us what you think. Let us know, okay? If you're a victim, how have you been able to go about it? How have you been able to walk through this process? Because it's unimaginable. It's totally unimaginable. And on this note, please share. Like this video, do not fail to subscribe, do not fail to share this video and push notification button so that when next I upload, you are going to be first-hand member of the club. Okay, so yes, and do not fail again to share the video so that more people will get this information. And of course, you can add to this video, add to what you know, add to what you have discovered, add to this. Again, like I said, I'm going to be putting the links of some places you're going to get the information and more information concerning, concerning FGM, to read more about it and to create awareness about this social plague. And until my next video, it's bye-bye from me. Au revoir.